Hey guys, what's going on? Inception here, and welcome to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have the Koulibaly to check out. We're taking a look at a card who is 6'2", medium high work rates, right-footed, 2-star skills with a 3-star weak foot. So by default, it's already really nice, right? Because Koulibaly was one of the cards that in the beginning of the year, it was him and Varane that I really needed in a team because in this year's game, like your back four or your back five just needs to be full meta, whatever you're going with. It has to be full meta because of the through balls, the counters, right? If I came up against like the lengthy players even before the patch, I needed to be able to compensate for that. So with Koulibaly in game on a shadow chemistry style, this is what he's going to look like, right? So shadow chemistry style will be boosting the pace of the card to be at a higher acceleration, higher sprint speed, right? 85 for acceleration, 99 for sprint speed is definitely a W because he's a lengthy player, right? The important part is obviously going to be in the sprint speed, right? His acceleration in previous versions for the off the ball movement stuff is usually not bad. The reason being for this is because he has a good unique body type, because sometimes unique body types aren't too crazy on certain cards, but in his case works out really well initially for that like base acceleration. So 85-99 is definitely very good. Shot power at a 75. The shot power is more for heading the ball, I believe, especially since he has the power header traits to work with, right? Passing on the card as a center back is going to be in a good area. 84-80 is perfectly fine for a card that has the 4-star weak foot, as well as being a right-footed player. So if you want to use him on the left side, you totally could. It would be better to use a left-footed player on the left side, but it just depends on the situation of your club, right? Dribbling. In this year's game, especially when cards have unique body types, a lot of the times you don't really care too much about agility, balance, ball control, and dribbling. What you care about the most for center backs is actually going to be in reactions and composure, right? So those two stats are usually the way more important stats to work with when it comes to defenders. Shadow chemistry style will be putting his defense basically in a perfect area, so his animation choices should come off well. And then for physical capabilities, the card is also at a 98 for strength, 87 for aggression, 86 for jumping. Technically, you can give this card the anchor chemistry style if you really want to, because of the fact that he is lengthy, but that's only if you are playing more conservative defense. Basically, if you're parking the bus, let's be real, okay? But yeah, we're going to be trying him out mostly on the shadow to kind of test out, initial acceleration, initial sprint speed on the card. Like I said, this card was really nice to use in the beginning of the year. I will say that he's probably not going to be better than Varane. Varane is just like, for me, like I've so far this year, I've liked Varane the most. He's the one that I've been using, not been using, but he's the one that when I did that review, I'm like, if I can have 4 Varanes, I would have 4 Varanes, because that guy is the definition of a gameplay commentator with the way that people like to go for like counters and through balls and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, we'll see how he plays in game. Hopefully he is a beast.
Toty plays with Luka Modric in central midfield, and leading the line today
I just had to hold the angle against Pele there. Transition speed was really good with Koulibaly. Good block, Koulibaly. There you go. Do it again. Against Darwin, he still does well. You know what's funny? I did do the pass to do a first-time pass, but he's just like, nah, I'm just going to push it out. I no trust, bro. No trust.
We know he loves linking up with other players, but it's when he's in and around the penalty area, that's when he's at his most dangerous, when he plays little...
Nice. Weak foot challenge there. Quick transition speed. Even if he wasn't offside, I had that manual defending there was beautiful. Oh, I wish there were more possession based. Not his fault, it's just Fifa things.
Very alert defending to put a stop to the chance.
Oh, that's weird. Not his fault either. It's just they never really get those like EA's never really gotten those like those shielding animations right. Like when you're ahead of the ball, it should easily be yours, but the animation's so weird in this game. Nice header. That was beautiful. Oh, we're good. We're good. Just hold Alt trigger. His manual defending is really fun. Yeah. Collect. Dribble, dribble. Pass it upwards. Pretty good. What happened? Oh, it was offside. Okay. Yeah, you can't boost into Koulibaly like that. He's going to get it, no problem. Nice, Koulibaly. Yeah, he got that because I was like really behind him, so it's not going to like work out that well. Nice. In certain build-up plays. I just like the consistent movement in the striker position personally. And then Koulibaly with the bloke. Nice. Oh, okay, that burst of acceleration's nuts. That is insane. Even when I'm not trying to defend with him, he just does the thing. Beauty. Oh, he's already triggered it there. Nice, Cooley. And that's what I'm talking about, right? Make the pass back, then forward. Beautiful slide challenge. Okay, so let's see some defensive situations here. So we push one of the center backs out of position, the fullback as well, kind of test out the running with Koulibaly. And you can see that there's no real restriction on the card when it comes to turning around and then running after the ball again, right? So that unique body type definitely very, very helpful to work with when it comes to that, because there are certain cards that when you use them in the center back position, it kind of takes them a while to do that turn afterwards again, right? You know, on a consistent basis, animation wise, defensive positioning wise, when I overcommit other defenders, he would consistently get into very, very good positions. A lot of the times, you know, I'll overcommit my fullback in a situation like this. I think we get very unlucky here and concede a foul, but you know, it's a head-on tackle. It should definitely be ours, but it's kind of how FIFA works sometimes, right? So yo, if I'm not mistaken, I think that Koulibaly actually has a Senegal manager in this game, and I'm pretty sure he's extinct, because that's the main concern with this card, right? Hopefully at some point in the future, EA does like maybe like a really cool Reece James card, or a Cucurella card, or like Chilwell maybe, like some sort of like really good promo card, because that's honestly the main concern with the card. Like, you have to have a lot of Premier League not managers. You have to have a lot of Premier League players in your team, which, to be fair, is not super hard to do. It's just more of an annoyance, if anything. You definitely have to get like some Premier League managers. You could, right, get the Edouard Mendy card as well, even though it's just a rare gold right now. Honestly, I would probably try to use a different type of goalkeeper. Like, that's like the main thing that you would have to work with if it comes to Koulibaly, I would say. Unless I'm dumb and I can't think of any other Premier League Senegal player. Let us see. Senegal. It would have been Mane back in the day, but, you know. Let's see what the other guys. Idrissa Gana Gueye. Idrissa Gana Gueye, maybe, if they do a card for him. He could be okay, to be fair. But he would have to be like massively up. Like, yeah, a medium high. He's a shorter player too, though. Yeah, it's mainly going to be with Edouard Mendy if they were to actually do a card for him. But yeah, in regards to how Koulibaly is in game, guys, he's really solid. He's not as solid as someone like the Winter Wildcard Varane. Definitely not on that level. I think Varane is a different beast compared to everybody else. So when I do center back comparisons for cards that may look full meta, that's the guy I'm going to compare to most of the times. You know, I would still rather use a Vidic card as well. Like, if like, obviously those cards are massively expensive, right? But sometimes you guys know how the price is with cards. Like, when they're super expensive, that doesn't always mean that they're better than the cards that are cheaper. You know, I always try to explain this to people. It's the same thing of me doing like those pack opening videos and trying to explain to people, like, even though this card is 500k, he's only 500k because it's David Beckham, not because he's actually decent in game. You know what I'm saying? Like, one of those ones. But with Koulibaly in game, everything that I remember him from, you know, the beginning of the game when I had to link him up with Varane because I was going crazy about the defense. It's the same now, right? Like the card has a bunch of things that makes him a monster. So there's this meta we always talk about in FIFA where it's like the hunchback body type, right? So he has that hunchback body type, and that's what makes him an incredible defender, because you don't feel restriction on him when you run. You don't feel restriction on him when you accelerate. You don't feel restriction on him when you have to move from one area to another. Like you're doing like you overcommit a run and then you turn and you have to turn and get the ball back. You don't feel any restriction with that either. And then he also offers you some pretty good physical capabilities as well. You know, 6'2" height, medium high. All of that like bounces off the card nicely. But it's not just that. He's got a 4-star weak foot, which you guys were clearly able to see a bunch of weak foot moments with him, right? The weak foot, having the weak foot, I'm telling you, it's like one of the most underrated things when it comes to center backs, because it's a really big deal, okay? For passes, for tackle animations, it's just perfect to work with. So other than the fact that he's not as good as Varane, which is, again, top tier meta, right? Or it's hard to link him, in regards to like the current situation that we're in, unless they do like really cool Chelsea cards. Like you can link him to Chelsea cards. That's not like a horrible thing to do, right? But it's more just the Senegal triple link setup that I'm talking about with the Premier League. You could get Chelsea players. Let's see what Chelsea players exist actually. Chelsea players, Premier League. Do they actually have like meta cards? Let's see, Chelsea. Okay. I mean, you could Thiago Silva, I guess, is one, but like that's you know what? I just took this in. They don't have like top tier meta cards unless I'm blind. Am I blind? Spiliqueta? I mean, technically you could use, but I'm talking about like top tier. Oh, Zakaria is actually not bad though. As a CDM, Zakaria is not bad. It's high though, you know, like if I'm going to use a card like that, I'd rather it be medium high personally, but it depends on how you're lined up as well, because he's 3-star. But the main one would be N'Golo Kante. So yeah, it's just the link ups with him really for like the top tier meta, because Koulibaly is better than all of those cards listed there when it comes to like the actual meta of the game. So yeah, even like Kante as well. And Kante is like significantly more expensive because it's just how the game kind of works out, the height and all that kind of stuff, right? So yeah, hopefully they do like a really sick Reece James card, because I can see Reece James being a good right back card to have if they give him the right defensive boosts. Anybody else that'd be good? Let's see. No, not João Felix. João Felix already has that winter wild card, Letico card. That card's good, but it's, yeah, I would say João Felix would be good too. Maybe is this guy good? But is it body? This guy, there it is. Oh yeah, no, they would have to do like a unique card for him, because that base stuff is not it. So they would have to do a unique one for him. Yeah. Anybody do comments? Welcome to Chelsea. But yeah, great card. Really enjoyed using him. Hopefully you guys enjoy the video today. I'll catch you guys for next one. Peace out, dudes. Love you guys.